Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Game 1 of the Marvel Champions Online Solo League that's on Boardgamegeek right now. So pull up a chair and let's see what it's all about. That's right, this is the Game 1 of the Marvel Champions Online Solo League, Season 0. It's Season 0 because it's a brand new league. First game, first 3 matches that we're going to have of this season. And so we're going to get started here soon. Now, what the league is, we'll play a game. Every participant in the league plays against Standard Rhino for the first game. And with Masters of Evil in the encounter deck, which that's what I have in the encounter deck. And so everybody will play that. We get to choose our own hero. I've chosen Black Panther, obviously, but everybody has to pick Justice as the aspect for this season. So game 1 is Standard Rhino, game 2 is Standard Claw, I believe it is, and then game 3 is Expert Rhino of the season. And then there are different scoring categories. One of them, obviously, whether or not you win or lose. Another one has to do with rounds. That's why this dice is here. It's going to track the rounds for me. Another one is the health of your hero at the end. Another is the scheme, how much threat is on the scheme at the end. And so there's several different categories that will be scored, and will be compared to each other. And the participant at the end of the season, the participant with the highest ranking, I guess, will win. And so again, this is a brand new league. It's a lot of fun. You can look it up on Boardgamegeek on the Marvel Champions forums. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I have the encounter deck shuffled. I've got Rhino 1 and 2 out like I'm supposed to in his main scheme. My deck here for Black Panther has been shuffled. You can see my starting hand. So let's go ahead and look and see what I want to do. I got lucky. The two upgrades that I wanted out early in the game because of the Masters of Evil are out. I always like to have Vibranium Suit, and I wanted Energy Daggers this time because of in case Masters of Evils come out. So obviously I'm going to keep those two, and then I want to keep Counter Intelligence just in case I need it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and discard the other 3 and draw up back up to 3 or back up to 6. Okay, there we go. We got 6 of our new cards. So I'm going to go ahead with his setup ability and go in and get Tactical Genius. Okay, so you see Tactical Genius over there. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is put in Golden City. I think that's going to be an important card. I'm going to use it paying with these 2 counter intelligences. And I'm going to go right ahead and use it and draw 2 cards. We've got Helicarrier and Vibranium. Okay, good. All right, with Vibranium, I think I'm going to put in counter intelligence with that. And then I have these 4 cards. I don't want to get rid of any of my suits. I'd like to put some of those in, but I don't want to get rid of any of them. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and stay as T'Challa for this first round. I do have counterintelligence that can reduce some of the threat on the scheme, so hopefully I'll be okay there. So I'm going to discard Helicarrier, draw back up to 6, ready, and go into the villain phase. Start the villain phase, place a threat there. He's going to scheme for 1, 2, so that's going to bring the main scheme up to 3, and then the encounter card's going to be I'm Tough. Give Rhino a tough status card. If Rhino already has a tough status card, this card gains Surge, okay? So he'll get a tough card, that's good. Now I could have used counterintelligence just then to keep threat from going on the scheme, but I'll save it up for now because I kind of forgot to use it. But that's the end of the villain phase. So now that's going to be, we're going to go into round 2 and back to T'Challa. And the first thing I'm going to do is use the Golden City to go ahead and draw 2 cards. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put Tactical Genius into play. Using Genius. And then I'm going to put Vibranium Suit into play using my 2 copies of Under Surveillance that I have over here. And then I'm going to play Ancestral Knowledge using Avengers Mansion. And I'm going to put, I have a Vibranium I'm going to put down in there. I'm going to put one of my Under Surveillances in there. And then a Wakanda Forever back. So I'm going to put those and shuffle them in to my deck. Okay. And then I'm going to flip the Black Panther and go ahead and have him thwart for 2 off the main scheme. So drop that down to 1. And that's it. I'll ready and draw up to 5. Okay, start the villain phase, put 1 threat on the scheme. He's going to attack, and I'm just going to have Black Panther take that. So he'll attack for 2, 3, a total of 3. So that's going to drop Black Panther down to 8. And then the retaliate damage will drop Rhino down to 13. Okay, and then the encounter card is going to be Masters of Mayhem. When revealed, each Master of Evil minion attacks the hero it is engaged with. If no attacks were made this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Master of Evil's minion and put it into play engaged with you. Then, okay, so I'm going to go in and grab Whirlwind, because that's the one I like to do when I'm playing solo against the Masters of Evil. Okay, and there's Whirlwind. That'll do it for the villain phase. So we'll go into round 3. And I think the first thing I want to do here is I want to put energy daggers in using Vibranium that I have here. And then I'll go ahead and use a Wakanda Forever with Avengers Mansion. Okay, I'll do Energy Dagger first to deal 1 damage to each character, so knock him down to 5, and the tough will come off of Rhino. And then I'll use Tactical Genius to remove 1 threat from the main scheme. And then I'm going to have Vibranium Suit heal or move 2 damage from Black Panther to Whirlwind, so drop him down to 3. And then I'm going to have Black Panther attack for 2 to drop Whirlwind down to 1. And that'll be it. I'll ready and draw back up to 5. Okay, 1 threat on the main scheme, bringing it up to 2. He's going to attack, and I'll just have Black Panther take this again. So he attacks for 2, 3, 4. So total of 4, dropping him down to 6. All right, and then the retaliate damage will drop Rhino down to 12. Okay, everybody, sorry. A round or 2 ago, Rhino had tough on him. He attacked Black Panther, and the retaliate damage, I dealt 1 damage to him, but that was supposed to knock off the tough. But if you remember in the last round, I actually had the energy dagger do 1 point of damage to knock off the tough. And so actually it was kind of a wash. He's at 12 hit points, and that is where he's supposed to be. One damage was the retaliate that he just took, and then 1 damage would have been from the energy daggers, and then 1 retaliate damage would have knocked off the tough. So he is supposed to be at 12. Sorry about that, folks. So let's go on. So Rhino has attacked. Whirlwind will now attack, and I'll just have him hit Black Panther, dropping him from 6 to 4. And that will actually knock Whirlwind out of the game with the retaliate damage. Okay, and then the encounter is going to be crowd control. All right, so it's just a crisis icon. It comes in with 2 threat on the scheme. All right, so now we move into round 4. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put Shuri into play using Daredevil and Helicarrier. And when she comes into play, she'll come in with 3 hit points, and she lets me go in and grab an upgrade, and I'm going to find my Panther Claws. Okay, and then I'm going to actually put Endurance into play using Followed, and that will bring him back up to 7, and also increase his max hit points to 14. And then I'm going to have Black Panther thwart for 2 off of this crowd control to go ahead and get it out of the way. And then I'll have Shuri thwart for 1 to just reduce the main scheme down. And then we're going to ready and draw back up to 5. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme. He'll attack, and I'll just have, I think I actually will have Black Panther defend this time, just to be safe. Hopefully it's safe. So he's going to attack for 2, 3 damage. So 3 minus 2 is 1 to Black Panther, dropping him down to 6. and 1 back to him will drop him to 11. And then the encounter card will be Shocker. So deal 1 damage to each hero, dropping him down to 5. And Shocker will come into play with 3 hit points, and we will move to round 5. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to play Wakanda Forever using Followed. And I'm going to take 1 threat off the main scheme. And then I'm going to hit each character with 1 damage with my energy daggers, dropping each one, Shocker down to 2, Rhino down to 10. And then I'm going to have Vibranium Suit move 2 damage from Black Panther to Shocker and take him out of the game. Okay. And then I'm going to play the other, well, let me discard that. I'm going to play the other Wakanda Forever with Agent Coulson. Going to remove 1 threat from the main scheme, deal 1 damage to Rhino, dropping him down to 9. And then basically heal Black Panther back up to 9 and deal 2 more damage to Rhino, bringing him down to 7. Okay, and then I'm going to have Shuri attack for 1 to drop him down to 6. So Rhino now is at 6 already, and draw back up to 5. Okay, so 1 threat on the main scheme here, and then he's going to attack. I'm going to have Shuri take it, and he'll attack for 2, 3, 4. So that's going to knock her out of the game. And then the encounter card's going to be Tiger Shark. All right, so he comes in with 6 health. And we'll move to round 6. Okay, so I'm going to start with putting Panther Claws into play with Vibranium. And then I'm going to play Stealth Strike with Energy and Nick Fury. Well, actually, I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to attack with Black Panther first on Tiger Shark to drop him down to 4. And then I'm going to play Stealth Strike with Energy and Nick Fury to deal 4 damage to Tiger Shark to knock him out of the game. And with Stealth Strike, when you defeat an enemy, you remove 2 threat from a scheme. So I'll remove the threat from this scheme. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it to T'Challa because I want to get a good hand next time. So hopefully we can start getting some Wakanda Forevers in. I do have the counterintelligence to help me with any schemes that come out, advance and with the schemes. So I'm going to do that. I'll ready up and draw up to 6. Okay. Start of the main phase. We have 1 threat on the scheme. He is supposed to scheme, so he'll scheme for 1, 2, 3. And I will go ahead and discard counterintelligence to prevent that 3 threat. And then the encounter card is going to be I'm Tough. So we know what that is. He gets a tough status card. So now we're going to move into round 7. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do in round 7 is use Golden City because I'm on my alter ego to draw 2 cards, Under Surveillance and Wakanda Forever. Good. All right, well, I would like to get a ally in here, get 3 of them in my hand. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and flip over to Black Panther. And then I'm going to do a Wakanda Forever using one of my Under Surveillances for that. I'll have an Energy Dagger. Go ahead and knock off this Tough. And then I'll have Vibranium Suit. Heal him back up to 10. And take a point of damage off of Rhino. He's down to 5 now. And then Tactical Genius, remove that threat. And then Panther Claws to do 4 damage, knocking him down to 1. Okay? And then, so that was 1 Wakanda Forever. And then I'm going to use another one using Mockingbird to pay for it. And I will go ahead and use Energy Daggers to hit him for 1. So that is going to drop him to 0 and he will advance to a stage 2. And stage 2, I've got to search the deck for the breaking and taking scheme and put it into play. So let me do that. Okay, so the breaking and taking comes in with 2 threat, and then he'll come back into play with 15 health. All right, so that was my energy daggers, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Tactical Genius to take off 1 threat. And then I'm going to use Vibranium Suit to heal him up to 11 and take 1 damage away down to 14. And then I'll use my Panther Claws to hit him for 4 more, dropping him down to 10. Okay, so that was another Wakanda Forever. And then I'm going to put in Jessica Jones using Strength and Quake for 3 resources to get her into the game. And I'll have her just go ahead and thwart. So that'll drop her down from 3 to 2 to get rid of this side scheme. And then I'll have Black Panther attack for 2 to drop him down to 8 health. Okay, and that'll be it. I'll ready and draw up. I'm going to have to reshuffle my deck, so I'm going to deal myself an encounter card. I'll shuffle my deck and draw back up to 5. Okay, start of the villain phase. We put 1 threat on the main scheme. And he's going to attack. And I'll just have Black Panther take this. He's at 11 health. So he's going to attack for 3, 4 damage. That's going to drop him down to 7. And then the retaliate will do 1 to him, dropping him down to 7. So Rhino's at 7 and Black Panther's at 7. And then the encounter card is going to be charge attached to Rhino, and then that's a +3 attack, and it's overkill and all that. So big attack coming next time if I'm not careful. Oh, that was going to be the second one. Let's see what this first one is here. Forgot about that. Okay, so we got Armored Rhino, so we got charge on here and Armored Rhino suit. So all damage has to go to the suit first, and then we'll have charge. And now we're going to go to round 8. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put in Helicarrier over here using Vibranium and Counterintelligence. And then I'm going to use Helicarrier to reduce the cost of the next card I play by 1, put Under Surveillance in on the main scheme, and use the other Under Surveillance for the second resource to put those in. I'm going to have Jessica Jones attack for 2, which will only put 2 on the Rhino suit. And then I'm going to have Black Panther attack for 2, which will put 2 more on the Rhino suit for 4. And he's going to be hitting for at least 6 damage, and Black Panther's at 7. I think I got a lot of room on the main scheme here with, he has to scheme for 10. So, I think I'm okay. I don't think I can lose on the next turn, even if he draws in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and flip to T'Challa. It'll let me draw up a bigger hand, and maybe I can win on round 9. So I'm going to ready, and then draw up to 6. Okay, 1 threat on the main scheme here at the beginning, and then he will scheme for 1, and just 1 good. There's one of our advances. He only schemes for 1, so that's going to bring it up to 3. And then the encounter card is going to be hard to keep down. When revealed, Rhino heals 4 damage. Okay, so now he's back up to 11. I can't seem, 7 to 11. I can't seem to finish him off. Had him close. I thought I was going to be able to do it in the next round, but now he's back up to 11. So we're going to be going into round 9. And it's T'Challa's turn. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is use Golden City to draw 2 cards. I get Followed and a Wakanda Forever. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and flip over to Black Panther. And then I'm going to also put Daredevil into play here. Helicarrier to reduce it by 1 to put him into play, so that's 1. Vibranium is 2, 3, and Mockingbird is 4. Okay. And then when he comes into play, he'll come in with 3 hit points. I'm going to hold on to him for a second. And then I'm going to play Wakanda Forever using Followed. And so I'll use Energy Daggers to do a point of damage to get rid of the Rhino suit. And then I'm going to use Tactical Genius to thwart off the main scheme. So that's going to drop it down to 2. And then I'm going to heal him for 1, back up to 8. And hit Rhino to drop him down to 10. And then I'll have Panther Claws attack for 4, so that's going to drop him down to 6. Okay? And then, so Wakanda Forever is out. And then I'm going to have Black Panther attack for 2, Jessica Jones attack for 2, and Daredevil attack for 2 for a total of 6. It will knock Jessica Jones out of the game. But it doesn't matter because he has 6 hit points left. And that's the game. Okay, well, so I win the game 1 of this online solo league against standard Rhino. He never got to use his charge. I beat him before he did that. I actually was on T'Challa, so he couldn't use it, and then I flipped and won on that turn. Now, some of the scoring things, as I said, he finishes with 8 health, and so that's part of it. That's one of the scoring things. I won on round 9. There was 2 threat left on the main scheme. There's some other things, too. I won the game, and so it'll be compared against the other participants. We'll see what happens, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when any future videos come out, Marvel Champions videos. I'm also in the middle of a Lord of the Rings Journeys to Middle-earth campaign, so if you're interested in that, those videos will be coming out, so like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and until I publish my next video, I'll save you a seat at the table.